Yeah. Start out the story with a homeless convict. Jean Valjean was his name, and he had no place to live, till one day he was told he could stay with the bishop overnight. He had dinner, then went to bed, all without a fight, till the bishop left his cabinet with all his silver wide open. Jean went to nap them, not even joking. The cop found him and returned him to the bishop's domain. Bishop let Jean keep them in his candlesticks under one condition: he had to be honest for the rest of his life, till he ran into a boy and his gold John swiped. He felt really bad and tried to find the kid to return his gold and pay for what he did. A woman named Fantine met a really nice guy. He got her pregnant, but then he left her, and she tried to play it nice. Turns out she was dehumanized. Her life turned into a pet. One day she finally gave birth to a baby girl, Cosette. She gave her to two adults. Thénardier was her name. Turns out they used Cosette for slave labor, played Fantine like a game. Fantine lived the rest of her life that was soon to end, and then she died of tuberculosis, never to see Cosette again. Jean left to Montreuil-sur-Mer, where he immediately became mayor, until he was truly discovered by a man named Javert. Javert brought a trial against some other guy because he thought this guy was Jean, though this all was a lie. Jean decided to show up since he was an honest man. The other guy was set free as if it was all part of a plan, though it really was not, and Jean confessed who he was. He was detained and exiled since he broke so many laws. Jean was on a ship full of convicts. Someone fell overboard, so Jean saved him with risk. They left Jean at sea. They assumed he was dead, but he wasn't, so he made it back to land and fled. He found a home of the Nevius Tardinais. He took the Cosette for a large amount he paid. Jean felt so much love for her as if she was his spouse. They then stayed at a tenement nosed on the Gorbeau house. This place was not safe, and Jean started to care. He discovered he was being stalked by Javert. They ran away again to stay at a convent. A man Jean saved let them stay there. His name was Michel Levent. A man named Marius stayed with his grandpa. His father abandoned him, at least this is what he thought, for his dad was there all along and was now dying. Turns out all those years his grandpa had been lying. He found out who his father is and fought Napoleon. He took interest in his views and supported the revolution. This led to an argument between him and his grandpa. His grandpa kicked him out the streets where his new home. He ended up in law school in heavy poverty. He took work in a bookstore thanks to the church priest. Eventually, he ended up in Luxembourg Gardens, where he saw a beautiful girl that he wanted for him. He called her Lenoir, for he did not know her name. He stalked her for a while, following her place to place. Turns out this girl was actually Cosette, and Jean Valjean got mad that this man was about to take the only love he had. When he went home, he was approached by a girl named Eponine. He thought she wanted money, but it was him she wanted to see. She really loved Marius, love he did not reciprocate. As far as he was concerned, she was just some other street bait. He overheard her parents planning to rob Jean Valjean. He went to the cops to tell them what was going on. Javert, the head cop, gave him 2 guns. He said to fire them when the robbing had begun. He went home and saw the Jean just getting ready to play. When he found out they really were the Thénardiers, he was not sure if he should fire the guns or two. He was told it was for them. He owed his life too. They hold Valjean there, telling him to retrieve Cosette. They made him give them his address. It was fake, and Mary sent a note through the window. The Jean just tried to leave, but Javert quickly caught their hoax. A lot of stuff at this part happened really quick, all inside the book entitled Saint Denis. It started out with Jean keeping Cosette from Marius. He took her away to England to hide her from his kiss. A revolution sparked up with those friends of the ABC. Barricades were breaking out all around Corinth City. Marius was sure that he was gonna die. He wrote to Cosette assuring her that life would be alright. Without him, that is, as he was sure he would be shot. When he wrote the note, he handed it to Gavroche. Gavroche ran into Jean Valjean, who wanted the paper. He said he'd go and give it to Cosette later. At this point, Javert was captured and was to be shot. When Jean said he'd go and finish all that job, he took him and set him free and told him his address. He gave him primal opportunity to detain him nonetheless. Marius was shot and Jean went to retrieve the man. He took Marius and ran through the sewer just to do what he can. At the end, Javert was there to arrest him. He went in peace, for he had truly lived a life of sin. He asked to give Marius back to his grandpa. Javert let him do so, because he saw no flaw. Valjean then asked to see Cosette one last time. Javert took him and left to the river Seine. This was the last we saw of Javert, you see. He drowned in that river, for he thought he had to be doing the right thing, which would only kill him, so he literally interpreted that. Too bad he couldn't swim. Marius went back home and made amends with Gillenormand. He let them take Cosette to marry. The relations were back on. They got married with Jean Valjean's blessing. They lived a happy life till Valjean did some confessing. He told Marius all about his life of crime. Marius did not believe, because he thought this was a lie. Valjean insisted he saw them never more. Increasingly, Marius pushed Valjean away forevermore. Thénardier came by one day to gossip about Valjean. Turns out he saved Marius' life on that day of his dawn. Valjean was a great man. They had to see him once more. They went to his house and knocked on his door. To Valjean's blessing, he got to see Cosette one last time, even though he lived a life of so much crime. He died on that bed, full of joyfulness. The book ended there. No more plot to be addressed. Everything turned out beautiful, as you see. Even though this was the last book we had to read, it's not as great as Gilgamesh, but way better than A Doll's House. I'd recommend it highly, more entertaining than Mickey Mouse. Yeah. You're welcome for that.